Nobody arrived to our class from the vice principal, who knocked on the door and surprised everyone. And the students were so excited because every day we come to school and we have a great time, but when something arrives and we don't know what it is, it's that extra excitement. We learned about inferring by guessing what was in the box.
Walked into the classroom. It was the beginning of the day of a Wednesday. We walked in, the box was sitting over on the counter over there, and everyone was curious of what it was.
We discussed what could be inside. We used all these stamps and stickers to see if we could figure it out. It says from nobody to everybody. So I thought it was a pillow and a pillow. I thought there was decorations for Halloween.
So yeah, I was pretty shocked to see this. I thought it was like a toy.
When I first saw it, well, Mr. Coulson was all about get the most exciting thing in the world. I'm so excited talking about this and stuff like that. So we were like, oh, I wonder what he's talking about. But when I saw the doll, I kind of had had a little idea what we have to do, because you kind of get a pretty good explanation when you see nothing on a doll like that and it's all naked. It's obviously you gotta add something to it, right? That's the whole point of it. So
He doesn't have eyes and mouth. He has no gender. He has no friends. He has no age. He doesn't have hair or play basketball.
Just a doll. Nothing
labels,
on
no
it.
character.
So it was nobody. Make sense?
Everyone got to take nobody home for 1 week, and they had to think of a project they could do with him to make him become a somebody by doing something that helps either people in the community or anywhere around the world. And just it encouraged character traits in people that they might not usually show.
Everybody got to take nobody home. We had to write down what we did, and then we had to draw a picture of nobody and show what we put on.
For my Nobody project, I cut my hair for cancer. The reason I did it is because I have 2 family members that had cancer, and my grandma survived, my grandpa did not. And I thought it'd be nice to give some girls or women some self-confidence when they lose their hair from cancer. I added this piece of hair to the Nobody. Yeah.
Well, we went and just walked the dogs, and just to see how deprived they were, and I don't know, even the dog we had was very anxious, just how much they're just kept inside. It's wow.
And I think you guys collected 5 truckloads of garbage bags. And the Nobody project went down to Lakeview Park, and I think we got 3 or 4 garbage bags pulled down at the park. And it was funny to see the adults kind of looking at us hey, there's some kids doing a good thing down there. What's going on? They couldn't really believe it. So I was proud of these guys for doing that. Yeah.
My friend added this because he had a hole in his heart.
Anything can help our community, anything you do, just little things, opens your eyes to what really needs to be done around here, and anything can help, so.
And it doesn't matter what age either. Anybody can do it. It doesn't even have to be high school kids. It could be grade 2s, or it could be, doesn't really matter the age.
I think the beauty about being older too is that when the younger kids look up to you, I remember when I was younger and I looked up at the high school kids and you're these guys are ancient, right? So when you see older people do this, it kind of sets a role model for the younger kids, so it kind of helps them.
And the power of the project was completely overwhelming on so many different levels. The first level was the power for the students, learning that even at their young age they were able to make a positive impact in their community with relatively simple community service projects that involved their time and not necessarily money. The pride that they had in them was absolutely unbelievable. The next level of interest for us was the involvement of the parents with their kids and with a school project. Schools are always looking for ways to make positive contributions and contacts with parents, and this was an amazing project to get parents on board with their kids doing these community service projects. The next level obviously would be within the community, raising the profile of the school and our students in a positive way by completing these community service projects both locally, nationally, and internationally was unbelievably powerful, and the pride that the school could take in what had been accomplished was amazing. The last is the academic portion. When students have real and powerful experiences, their motivation for reading and researching and writing becomes exponentially grown. And so the wonderful pieces of writing the students produced about their projects was amazing. And I think it was the fact that it was a real experience for them that they got to write about, as opposed to, oh, look out the window, it's snowing right now. It was something that they had become personally involved with, and that's why their writing was so powerful.
From the Nobody Project, I learned that you can help people in your community and the world easier than you think, and that one simple thing can make a big impact.
I learned that it was better to give than to take, and to help people before you think of yourself.
And it made me feel really happy, like I did something that would change what was going on in the world. It made me feel really happy.
I think that this could be something really helpful to someone who doesn't know what they want to do yet, and it could kind of direct them along to a path where they could find something that they really like.
Some of us still went back, and even though we're done, we helped out.
Yeah, I'm not done my hours yet, but even the Humane Society was like, even the little things could like help a lot. So I'm really gonna take that and run with it.
I learned that although we're all kids, we're still capable of great things.
Our class is only like 23 kids, and we helped hundreds of people. So if the whole school were to help out anybody, we could help thousands of people all over the world and make a huge difference.
I learned that if our class puts our heads together, we can really accomplish anything. And like everyone's projects was awesome, and if everyone helped like one person, we can make a big difference in the world.
And when you're doing this Nobody project, it's bigger than just a little thing.
At first, I wasn't sure how it was going to fly. When the kid brought it in the first day, his particular day, it was so meaningful, in fact, that what he had written in his response almost stopped the class in their tracks. It brought a tear to my eye because of the contribution he had made for somebody else.
The great thing about this project is that it took no time at all to set up. Everything was given to you in the box, or given to me in the box. There was a DVD, there was step-by-step instructions, there was letters to send home, there was even a rubric, which was really great, and I used the rubric to help me with my language mark for the oral and visual mark, which was fantastic. The kids loved it, and it was very easy to do. It actually took 5 minutes out of my day to set up.
Sometimes when I read the paper, I feel like the world's a mess, but the hope lies with kids today. And if kids can learn early that to be global citizens and to help others, then there's really hope for the future.
Through running this project, now I can look back and reflect and think what specifically my students have learned. They've learned so much, but what I'd like to highlight is that the word empathy, because my students have really learned to empathize for others. By doing the project, they've been able to practice their presentation skills, and they'll even come up in the middle of the day and ask to do their Nobody experience again. And it helps them, especially in my community where sometimes they might not be able to get to speak English as much as home as they do in school, and this really gives them the opportunity to practice their presentation and their speaking skills.
I'm surprised at how well it has been embraced by both my staff, my students, and the community at large, and the fact that we have children in grade 1 anxiously awaiting to progress into grade 2 so that they can become involved in this program.
The first contribution from my class came from a guy in my class named Patrick, and he had collected some clothes that he had worn, pajamas, and some old toys that he donated to a women's shelter here in the Durham region for women and kids who are fleeing their violent situations. And so his attachment was a dream catcher and a key, and what he wrote in his response was that the dream catcher would bring new dreams for those boys, and that the key would open up new homes and opportunity for those boys. So it was quite touching when it came in.
I think, before we started this, I don't think anyone really knew how many organizations or places that really needed our help, and it sort of gave us an idea of what other people could do to make this world better.
Through the Nobody Project, I learned that even though we're kids, we can still help with the betterment of the world, And like, if we're capable of this, imagine what the whole country is capable of if we really put our minds to it. So I think if this project was just put in more schools, then like, imagine what the world's going to be like in 20 years.